Hi, it's Shelley again, and I'm on step 3 of my process. So I've been to the house, I've taken notes. We have an idea of how much the design fee is going to be. I've collected a retainer check, and now I've gone home to my office and I'm making my Excel spreadsheet and working on my suggestions document. The first part of step 3 is to bring the samples or any of the suggestions in the form of that Word document to the client. So I will usually print out that suggestions document. I will bring all the samples with me, and then I have options. Like, I don't have just the one glass tile that they were thinking they wanted, not because I didn't want to do glass, except that I just want to also always look for what's new and fresh and cooler in the marketplace. Partly because I may or may not know what that is. And companies are always making new things, and you never know what you're going to find when you go looking for what's that perfect backsplash for these people. So in this case, we're talking about the slab, and you can see this is the one that we ended up getting it's the replacement or the second selection. We were trying to match something that was already in the basement, and that thing was discontinued. That slab was discontinued. So one of my fabricators had suggested, what happened to it? Had suggested this one, which I'd never even heard of this company before, Hanstone. And that sent me on a whole new adventure to find this sample at the warehouse in Denver. Then I got that coloring, and I could go look for my backsplash materials. And this was one of my options. It's just a very cute little ceramic in a Subway style. I don't know that you can see it on here, but it does have, oh yeah, there's a good way you can see it. It has some variety in its depth and kind of an old world edge on it. So it's really beautiful. And then, of course, while I'm at that appointment, I've got all my little grout samples, so we can pick what's the right color grout. Let's see if I can do this without spilling it everywhere. To blend in with the color either of the tile. My backdrop's coming through. Either blending in with the tile, or are we trying to create more contrast? Or are we trying to create minimal contrast? Whatever. So that's part of what goes on in step 3, which is meeting with the client and narrowing down all the details. And so I'm taking that big Word document. Let's go back to that for just a second. Sharing my screen again. I want this one. I'm taking this document with the multiple different options, and as I'm sitting with the client, I'm circling or Xing out or something of what they're deciding. So yes, they like this Kohler faucet. No, we're not doing any of these sinks. Yes, we're going to do an undermount sink. Yes, they like the eased edge. They like this top pull in the smaller size. They like the taller bathroom. They like the more opaque shade. And then, of course, there's the example. I forgot another important part of step 3. When I show up to the second appointment to show the client the samples, the ideas, the suggestions document, everything that we have in mind there, I will also bring the filled in spreadsheet proposal with costs so that we can have a good ballpark of what the cost will be, depending on, of course, their selections. So in this case, if I'm looking at 2 different faucets, often what I will do is I will put the more expensive option in the spreadsheet, knowing that if they buy and select the second option or the lesser priced option, that this bottom line cost will go down. So this is a perfect example of what ended up happening. I was just under 20,000 actually when this first started. So when we had all the higher priced numbers in before they've made their final decisions, they know If you picked everything that was the most expensive version, it'll be right at 20, let's say, or just 19 something. That's the final part of number 3. Now we're going to move on. Follow me to number 4.